Okay, guys, I did not see this coming. So this is the newest Christopher Ward, the C12 Loco, and this is the newest installment in their more attainable haute horology series. It has a brand new in-house movement with the CW003, a really striking dial display, and retails for just under £4,000, £3,795. I have so many thoughts, so let's just get right into it. Let's start with the specifications. This has a case diameter of 41mm, a thickness of 13.7mm, and a lug-to-lug of 47.5mm. A very small wrist-friendly lug-to-lug measurement, but with the integrated nature of the strap, it does wear larger than how it initially sounds. So here it is on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. I think it is too large for me. There's just a little too much overhang, but it is fantastic on my husband's 7-inch wrist. This looks really at home on him, and they have made specific design choices for the wearing experience, like a steeper lug downturn to fit the wrist better. Back on specifications, this has a stainless steel case material, 30 meters of water resistance, so probably not the one to wear to the beach, but that's okay. This level of water resistance is perfectly acceptable for 99% of life. Powering this watch is the manufacturer caliber manual winding CW003, giving 6 days or 144 hours of power reserve and an accuracy of -0 plus 7 seconds per day. This movement has been designed specifically for this watch, with no immediate plans for extensive future use. I have a lot to say about this movement, so if you don't want to hear anymore, you're fine. That's okay. There should be timestamps down below. You can skip this part. But this movement is audacious. It is ambitious. Oh my gosh. So right off the bat, this is incredibly interesting looking. So a symmetrical layout achieved by the aligned balance wheel and barrels and clever use of empty space. Another detail I found unexpected is this movement is hand finished. So Christopher Ward have really been pushing the boundaries in machine finishing. I'm thinking of the 12X, and that being one of the big elements they were showcasing with that launch. It's a pleasant surprise to opt for hand finishing on this new movement. Now, let's talk about the design language, because this is the very first thing that you notice. I describe the Loco as clean, architectural, modern, almost clinical. It feels mechanical. It feels like you're looking at a machine, or like they wanted to put the machine side of horology at the forefront. The case shape will be familiar to anyone who follows Christopher Ward, being a redesigned 41mm 12 case and bracelet. But that is where the familiarities begin and end. Looking at the dial display, we have 3 vertically stacked circles from 12 to 6, with the top being the time display, then the floating balance wheel oscillating away as the centerpiece, and furthest down is the small-toothed escapement, with the balance wheel and escapement being held by horizontal bridges. Although it sounds like there's a lot going on, the time telling is very legible and clear, and it is the very first thing your eye is drawn to. These are available in 4 different colors and on strap or bracelet. I obviously have the blue in, and I would describe it as a shocking blue. Very bright, very bold. It's like a sky blue if you turned the saturation up as high as you can. This whole design, front and back, feels so integrated. Like, this is one of the few times I think a movement needs to be on display, because the design doesn't end when you see the front. It's all working together, and it feels really mindfully designed, front and back. It's all working together. It's all fluid. So this is available on bracelet and on rubber. I only have the rubber variation in, and this might be the only place where I have a nitpick. Aesthetically, I really like it. It is perfectly color matched, and it really adds to the overall design. The rubber is quite soft, and it almost molds to the wrist, but it's the clasp with the rubber variation that isn't fully doing it for me. More specifically, how the bracelet stores underneath. I feel like this model is so elegant and well thought through, but then the strap is almost a little bit cumbersome. So it folds underneath and is stored below. It actually reminds me of how the Omega Milanese bracelet sits under the wrist, and I complain about that all the time. But it's just one of those things. Like, the strap needs to store somewhere, unless it was cut to measure. But otherwise, it needs to store somewhere, and that's either going to be on top or underneath. Unpopular opinion, I've always preferred just a buckle and holes over a deployant. But I think I'm in the minority with this one. I think a majority of people will like this, and this will work for them, and they won't be complaining about it. My personal recommendation would be to buy on the bracelet. It's a fantastic bracelet, and buy the rubber strap on the side. Now, the price. So these retail for £3,795 on the rubber strap and £3,995 on the bracelet. I'm not going to say this price is cheap, because it's not. This is very expensive, particularly for Christopher Ward, who tend to sit around the £1,000 price point. But the value for money, what you're getting for that price, it's a lot. I don't know how they're making money on these. I don't know what the profit margins are. I always defend brands when they're doing something new and different and experimenting. And the price tags that often come with that experimentation. Because R&D is expensive. Experimenting, designing, creating entirely new cases and movements is expensive. So to be getting this level of experimentation, design, and innovation, and an entirely new hand-finished movement, in-house movement, for under £4,000, it's incredible. It's unheard of. I've not heard of anything like this. As you may have detected by this point in the video, I'm very excited about these. I think they're awesome. I am a huge fan of Christopher Ward, and I have been for some time, and I love the direction they're heading in. I love seeing pieces like this. It's taking their ethos and value for money, but applying it to a more high-end premium product. This is what the Bel Canto was. How do we make a chiming watch more accessible? And that's exactly what the Loco is. How can we make haute horology? And we won't skimp out on anything. We'll build a new built-for-purpose, aesthetically attractive movement, dial display. It's going to be cool. How do we make that the most accessible that we can? That's what this is. I've said it a few times that Christopher Ward is going from strength to strength, and they are, but I'm beginning to think that's an understatement. Like, look at how they started. Look at their starting place. Their first watch was released 20 years ago, and it was pretty humble beginnings. It was learning on the job. It was finding their design, their voice, their logo along the way. It feels like they've committed themselves to listening to the watch enthusiast community, listening to their buying community, and making each watch a little bit better than the last. And I have a lot of time for that. In the last few years, since the Bel Canto, I'd say they've been kind of exploring a more premium side, and it's really working for them. I'm actually curious, if you're a long-term Christopher Ward collector, fan, someone who's been following the brand, what do you think to this premiumization? Do you like it? Not really? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure my thoughts have been coming up throughout the entirety of this video. I genuinely love this watch. I am so impressed by how audacious and risky this was, and they nailed it. I really, really like this direction, and this is a serious bit of kit. My only dislike is the clasp system on the rubber variation, but other than that, really big fan. I always like to clarify when I have a watch in that I quite enjoyed, and if a review's very positive, I like to clarify that this was not paid for in any way. They have not given me money. They have not given me a watch. Nothing. These are my honest, genuine thoughts. I am not going to make up some fictitious negative thoughts just to appear more impartial or for people to not think I'm a shill, because I'm not. I think this is one of the most mindful and well thought through watch designs I've ever had in. It was a true joy to review. Anyways, guys, those are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to read yours in the comments down below. Can't wait to see you down there. Subscribe if you haven't already. And now, Pope tier patrons get their names on the screen. Yes, Pope tier patrons, the greatest humans ever. You have never done anything wrong in your lives ever. Everyone else has, but not you. You're perfect. But for real, thank you for supporting my weird little channel. I hope you keep enjoying it. I love making watch content. It's the best. And I hope you keep enjoying it too. I'll see you over at Gringa Patreon. I'll see you in the Watch Goblins chat. All right. Why are you so awkward with your hands?